All right. Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me. It's a shiny Saturday for me here in Dubai. My name is Abdurrahman Amran. I'm leading the developer relations at Cartesi, and I can't express how much I'm happy today to be with you here for the closing ceremony of Cartesi Online Global Hackathon, the first edition, let's say. So first thing, thank you everyone for your participation. We are all happy and glad that you had enjoyed this experience, and we had a lot of fun like interacting with a lot of participants, and we can't be more happy to participate with you in this closing ceremony. So we have had more than 216 participants in this hackathon. Like, this is the first edition, and it's not going to be the last. We are planning for multiple ones, upcoming ones. So 216 participants, thank you so much for your time, for your participation, for your hard work. Today is actually a celebration for you. It's all about you today, about the hard work that you did, the dedication that you had, and this journey, we enjoyed it together for the past 5 weeks. So 216 participants, 28 project submissions from at least 20 countries. So can you imagine that? That's really cool. Today is actually the closing ceremony, which means every project will have the chance to go on stage to present their project, to present their idea, the challenge that they have been through, what they have been able to achieve, what's their plans for the future, how they are planning to take this project into the next level, what's next, basically, like how can they seek support from a Cartesi grants program or from other core contributors. How can they take this into a real world project, right? So it's like we encourage everyone and for the innovation and the inspiration that you gave us. Let's go back and refresh our minds what happened or what was the timeline. Like we initiated this hackathon, like we opened the registration around February 20th this year, like 2023. The opening ceremony was actually on 25th of March. That was the official opening. We hosted the community spotlight and Ask Me Anything session around 28th. That was 3 days after that. Workshop and coding bootcamp, we did that with Bahos on April 11th. And then the project submission was open throughout the whole period for 6 weeks until April 25th. That was 4 days ago, right? And today it's the ceremony day, the closing remarks, the celebration about your efforts. So yeah, remember, it's all about you today. We encourage you to like present your ideas, be proud of what you achieved, and yeah, look forward to how can we take this to the next level. So as a refresher also, like let's remind ourselves, what was this about? It was about using Cartesi technology to build something innovative, to start something meaningful, to try to achieve your idea using some decentralized SQL technology, or maybe geoprocessing or biometrics, or using machine learning on top of Cartesi rollups, right? Usually, you will find our team, our solution architects and core contributors coming on stage in a few minutes. And what are they looking for in the presentation or in the project that you submitted? Generally, like we know this is a hackathon, and there is no complete project since this is a hackathon, right? So we are looking at one of the following points that you did something amazing in: product market fit, or economic viability, originality or innovation in the idea that you were implementing, the quality and implementation, the design, the white paper that you have written, level of completion. Of course, you cannot do all of that in one hackathon, but just one of these points you could exceed, and you can be like one of the winners. So yeah, without further ado, we are having 8 winners today, like first, second, third, and probably pool of 5, potential 5 runner-ups. So let's see who is going to hit the like these positions, and we are really excited to hear your presentations. Now, Shaheen will take it from here. Like, Shaheen will be hosting the second part of this demo day. He is going to invite each one of you, each one of the projects to present their project. And we are very excited to be here and hear out from you. Go ahead, Shaheen.
Thank you so much, Omran. Thanks for the lovely words. And yeah, I mean that the last whole month has been really really exciting month for us, for the hackers, for everybody who has been engaged with us in this journey. And I've had some amazing time engaging with these people here. So just let me give you a quick brief. I'm Shaheen from the developer relations team. I look after the community, the technical developers, and everybody who's mostly engaging on Discord and these hackathons, events, and initiatives. So yeah, without further ado, let's bring the teams quickly up on stage, and let's start this pitching and judging session. We have a strong lineup of teams. All right, who do we have here?
Okay, hi. Beautiful day
Hello.
here. Hi. My name is Akanimo Osutuk, and I'll be presenting for the Immunify team. Thank you for Cartesi for giving us this opportunity to showcase our project. I hope my audio is good.
Yes, yes,
Okay, just for
we can hear you loud and clear.
okay, all right. Okay, so I created some slides, and at the end, I'll do like a mini demo. So, as already stipulated in the submission, you have my GitHub repo here. So, basically, our project is called Immunify. So, what's the Immunify aimed at is creating a decentralized health protocol on Cartesi. So there were certain unique features on Cartesi that made Immunify possible compared to other blockchain projects like the EVM or Polkadot. And the most important feature of that was the ability to design your code in whichever language you would want and make extensive use of the on-chain and off-chain processing. So basically, this is my outline, brief about ourselves, then the project statement, and some key features about our project. So Immunify is basically the brainchild of two of us. I do have a background in healthcare. My training is originally as a medical doctor, but I've always liked tech. So I learned how to program early, and right now I'm trying to create innovative projects for healthcare. And my partner is also a medical doctor, and he played an active role in designing and planning out this project. So basically, Immunify is a decentralized platform that enables secure and transparent access to medical records. So basically, we're going to make use of blockchain technology in persisting medical data there, not just persisting data, taking this your medical data and storing it safely and implementing certain access controls on top of it. So the future is Immunify is going to give patients conditional access to different healthcare agents like the doctors, hospitals, labs, and even insurance agencies. So you'll be able to have your medical data on chain and it can be verified. For example, if I, as a doctor, make a prescription for a certain medication, you can literally verify on chain that, hey, this prescription was actually made by me. And the pharmacy that will be dispensing the medication can actually verify also that it was made by me and that the medication is receiving is actually an authentic one because it's going to follow like a blockchain, proper blockchain supply chain. So, what are the current challenges that made us think about Immunify Health? I've spent the last 6 to 8 months building centralized electronic. Am I on? Hello? Okay, so thank you very much. So basically, I spent like the last 6 to 8 months building centralized healthcare systems. Now, this centralized systems, we manage and store the entire blockchain, medical data on a centralized server in a centralized database. And there were certain problems with that. And because of that, share, because every hospital has their own electronic health record format, and because of that, it's incompatible. And it also poses some major security risk. For example, centralized data stores are susceptible to hacks, and also record tampering also. Now, if I make a consultation for a patient and store it on chain, it's verifiable. So if there's any modification in that medical record, I could easily verify that on chain, and be sure that the record hasn't been tampered. So what are the key features of Immunify? So in Immunify, we do have a decentralized SQLite database running on top of Cartesi. So Immunify uses basically decentralized SQL as the database for storing health record. So there are certain features about SQLite that made us pick this as a choice. So, well, firstly, it's the most widely used and is well suited for most decentralized application because of its serverless engine, and eliminates the needs for basically a centralized server. So we implemented the decentralized SQLite on top of Cartesi for Immunify. And also we created what we call, although it's still a work in progress, it's called a dual encryption system. Now on Immunify, so when you take your medical data, it's encrypted first in the front end, and then also encrypted also on top of the Immunify back-end server that runs on top of Cartesi. So we implemented this dual encryption system, and in the future, the back-end encryption is going to be done using private keys and also role-based access systems. Of course, if you have your medical data on chain, you wouldn't want anyone to have access to modify this data. You would only want people that have the necessary rights and permissions to do that. So this is basically our architecture. So you have the React front end app, although for this demo, I didn't make use of React. You have some form of authentication using MetaMask that talks to the Immunify server, that speaks to the Cartesi rollup that has been deployed, and then persists data directly to the decentralized SQLite. In between here, there's supposed to be a diagram for the encryption engine, which I will still demo. So basically, what is our design philosophy? So in the future, we intend to keep coming up with innovative features to the Immunify ecosystem, refine this, share, and get feedback, and then the cycle continues again in the future. So let me just quickly do a quick demo for you. So you do have the white paper here that's attached also. It's a 13-page document. It talks a lot about what we plan to do, especially with the in terms, we try to go really technical about it in terms of the cryptography and what we really mean about role-based access. Now for a quick demo,
Hey, can
so hi.
yeah, I was just saying, could you please make your slides full screen? Because that's it.
Okay, you want me to send it in?
Yeah, just when you present your slides, just keep it full screen. That's it.
Okay. Excuse me, sorry, I'm trying to pull up. Yeah. Okay. Is my screen visible for VS Code? Okay, so basically, so I do have in one set of terminal here that's running, I do have the Cartesi rollup that has already started. It's running on Docker. And also, this is my back end. It's written in JavaScript. It's written in JavaScript, so I'm just going to quickly boot it up. So, yeah. So it's up and running. So it picks up the rollup address from the Cartesi server itself. And so for this demo, I'm going to be making use of the console, although we do have a front end app also that's in the future is going to be used in making full interactions. We have a link to the white paper here also. This is being hosted locally, but the link is in the GitHub itself, the link to the live project. So if you go to the use tab also, you have the ability to connect your MetaMask wallet to it, and although this is still a work in progress, but for the demo, I'll be making use of the console itself. So, we try to describe certain API endpoints that can be used in interacting with this, and these are the API endpoints. So basically, you could add a new patient, you could query patient data, and you could also add consultations also. So for this demo, we'll try to add a new patient to Immunify. And so I'm just going to clear the console, and I'm going to add this. So by address, what I mean is like the blockchain address, wallet address for the person. Could be a MetaMask address. And I'm just going to use my name, Cartesi, as the name of the patient, and let's assume you're 25. And so when you run that, what it does is it sends, you should be able to see it generate a hash share done on the back end, and also added some useful messages. So what it has done is it sends this adding notice to this posting data, and as you can see, it has already added a new patient here, and it gives it an ID. So this is decentralized SQLite, storing everything here, and also the encryption module. Now, the encryption module works when you try to put a medical consultation inside. For example, if a doctor has seen a patient, the whole contents of the consultation would have to pass through the whole encryption engine. So we'll try to do that. So the format for the payload, everything can be found on the GitHub. So we're going to use consultations. And so we tell it that it's a post, and then we specify what the history is. So I'm just going to make this some gibberish now. So basically, the dual data encryption is supposed to encrypt it in the front end, then encrypt it again in the back end. So I'm assuming this is an encrypted data containing the whole history, and then you attach a patient ID, and then you send. So it's still making a request also to the back end. We see if the transaction has been mined. Yes, transaction has been mined, and we see if we get a proper response from the back end. Okay, so oh, okay. So there's a bug. No, so it has this a cool safety feature also. There's no matching API. So what's causing the problem is it's supposed to be consultation. So I added fail safes like that in the code and try catch blocks. Originally, this was supposed to be implemented in JavaScript, but because of the time constraints, we decided um, to do this in JavaScript. So as you can see, here's the encrypted result. And so it basically encrypts it, converts it to string, and then puts it in the SQLite database. Then when you want to get the information also, so it runs a decryption also. So all the modules can be found on the GitHub. So basically back to the presentation. So in terms of continuity, like what's the future for Immunify? So we do intend Immunify to become like a project of projects. And in the future, we're looking towards building out a full doctor's consultation module and an electronic health record system that can be deployed in multiple hospitals that are also open EHR compliant. We also think about the patients also, and we're looking towards deploying an Android and an iOS application for patients so they can also have custody of their own data, and in the future creating a decentralized health data marketplace where they can get incentives for selling their data, thinking about wearable device integration and further improvements down the line. So thank you very much for giving Immunify this opportunity to present. It was certainly a nice experience in the hackathon. We did wish we had much more time so we could build something truly great. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Ekan. That was a a really nice presentation, and like you went into the demo as well, and things are going on the healthcare side. Really interesting project from my perspective. I've been engaging with you since last 30 days, but I would like to hear from our judges here. What do they think about the project, and if they have any questions regarding this? Guys, could you just quickly introduce yourself first, and then we can ask questions, maybe just quick one.
I guess I can go first. Hey guys, I'm Gabriel. I'm developer advocate at Cartesi, and I've been working with blockchain for several years now. I thought your project was very nice, and there's some things that we could definitely improve on when regarding the software design itself, what's supposed to be on chain, what's supposed to be off chain. But overall, it's a very nice problem to tackle, and I thought it was very good. Congratulations, then.
Thank you.
Lino, you want to go next?
Hey, I'm Lino, solution architect at Cartesi. Well, I'm with Barros. Thank you for your project. It was very nice to hear. And yeah.
All right. Danny, just a quick intro and any
Hello,
thoughts about the project.
I'm Daniel, member of the on-chain, the smart contract development team. And I wanted to ask you a question because it's a really good project. And I would like to know if you are willing like to sell it to an hospital, why would you say, or what will you say to the hospital of the reasons of using your project? And if you can explain what Cartesi is actually helping you to build the project in Cartesi with this platform.
Okay, so thank you very much. That's a really important question. Now, the healthcare industry is heavily monopolized by private individuals, and it's actually one of the industries that is really resistant to change. Now, here is where blockchain comes in. Blockchain has always been user-driven, has always been driven by the people and the general population itself, because it's a movement that aims to challenge the status quo and centralized systems. And that's the approach that Unify is going to be taking. Now, we do have lot of young people and the growing population that are really interested in blockchain and its application, and the whole discussion about custody of health data and owning your data and managing and deciding what exactly this data is going to be used for. So Immunify aims to capitalize on that and focus strictly on the patients and build this from the ground up. While also, in addition to focusing on the patients, we're also not ignoring the hospitals and the institutions that are there. My aim is for Immunify to become a fully open source project where it's going to have multiple contributors and it's going to be open EHR compliant, such that you are going to be able to deploy this in different hospitals, and the standard format for data exchange are going to be exactly the same, such that if you are referring a patient from hospital A to hospital B, the information is going to be compatible with both electronic health record system. So what I would be selling to the hospitals is, one, data security. Medical the health data is really sensitive. It plays a lot of medical legal issues. Now, when you have a system that ensures and promises security that is way more significant than the existing legacy systems, that is something that employers and health institutions really buy into. And in the future, I intend to create an incentive model on top of Immunify Health, because I did have this idea, although I could not execute it during the hackathon. It involves tokenizing health data as NFTs, ERC721 or ERC115. And with this, you'd be able to sell them to researchers and pharmaceutical industries and get some form of incentive back. So you could literally build this on top of Cartesi, mint Cartesi NFT tokens, and create a decentralized health marketplace where pharmaceutical industries can come get their data and build on top of that. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Willing to hear more from your project. I encourage you to continue with it.
Thank you.
All right, awesome. Omran, do you have any thoughts on the project?
Whenever it comes to healthcare, I'm really excited to see healthcare use cases on blockchain. So yeah, I don't have any questions, but I'm excited to know what's coming. So my eye is on you. Looking forward to see where you go next. Keep going.
All right, thank you so much, Ekan. I think we can move to the next project. Thank you so much. All right, let's see, who do we have next? Hey there, could you introduce yourself first?
Okay, yeah, my name is Steven Sunday. I am from the Gunana team, and I'll be co-presenting with CTO, which is Kizito. But then, just a quick overview of what Gunana is all about. Gunana is a decentralized marketplace for commodity traders and farmers to be able to connect directly to their customers and cutting off the middlemen so that they'll be able to retain some kind of profit they would have lost through this middlemen. There are quite a lot of issues that these farmers and commodity traders face, as regards to access to market. And these are some of the issues we're trying to help them solve. So scarcity to capital, inadequate distribution chain, limited participation in global um, market, and a whole lot of others. Our solution tends to, first of all, increase access to market, and then help to cut off middlemen and connect these traders directly. We also, because there is also an issue in regards to access to finance, we have an integrated solution around Gonana that solves the issue of DeFi, or rather solves the issue of capital, which introduces DeFi solutions to these market users. Of course, we believe in the power of collaboration, and that's why we're building a multi-chain solution where we could be able to borrow all these technologies from um, different players. But of course, we are going to have a primary um, blockchain of deployments, which our solution was previously deployed on Polkadot, but with all the potentials and capacity that Cartesi is bringing on board, we've decided as a team to see how we could redeploy to Cartesi, and that's why we decided to participate in this hackathon so we could show what we have. Um, Also, we have a solution that has proven to be one of its kind. If you look at all our competitors, they are building facing one particular aspect, but we've noticed that there is a problem of digital inclusion, and that's why we went fully Web3. And a lot of with the crypto adoption across Africa, and which Nigeria has led, we decided to bring on a crypto payment solution or crypto payment option for these farmers, because quite a lot of the grassroots users are actually very intrigued about what crypto can do, and that is what led to the adoption of cryptocurrency down the grassroots in countries like Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, and other African countries. But beyond just crypto payments, we also have an on-ramp and off-ramp solution where people who are not just crypto savvy or tech savvy can comfortably use Gonana even without the fear of not having crypto payment or can't even process crypto payment, and a whole lot of other opportunities that we have. Our solution is, if we are working in a more than in a marketplace that is more than $5 trillion, and we want to bring this entire marketplace onto the blockchain. And that's why our approach is completely different. We are coming from the grassroots up, and having to use a DeFi solution, just so that we can mitigate the issue of access to finance is something that we're the only company that is doing this so far, or rather startup that is doing this so far. Our solution got the government very interested, and we recently signed an MOU with the government to be able to provide this access to market for farmers and commodity traders using Gonana. And also, one of the biggest reasons why we caught the attention of the government was because recently, Nigeria, 2 years ago, Nigeria deployed a CBDC, central bank digital currency. And because it's a solution that is deployed on the blockchain, so when we took the conversation to the government, it kind of spark up whatever we had started. And so participating in the hackathon was just for us to demonstrate our strength, that we could do even beyond what we are doing right now with the support of Cartesi. And that's why we had to do some integration with some of the Cartesi tools, which my co-presenter is going to shed more light on. But in terms of access to market and in terms of go to market, we already have this partnership that is giving us access to over 4,600 commodity traders to begin with. When we did our test run, our test net, when we launched our test net in December, we had a UI that didn't meet the expectation of our users. So based on their feedback and all that, we decided to come up with a new UI that would fix the need of these users who are coming, who are interested in working with us. And for us, this is what we're doing. We're bringing all these people from who were not even part of Cartesi to know that there is a blockchain. So this is there is a blockchain like Cartesi, and then it can actually meet the needs of startups, not just startups, but of course the need of crypto holders and individuals from different blockchain communities, because we're building a solution that cuts across every blockchain community. So this is like a way of give back to Cartesi, and then contributing to the larger growth of the ecosystem. So like I said earlier, we're working in a very large marketplace, which is not blockchain related, but we want to use Cartesi to bring this entire market size onto the blockchain. And like I mentioned earlier, is a over $5 trillion market size or market space. And Gonana intends to bring all of this to Cartesi, or rather, majority of it that we can to Cartesi. We've started, like I said, with the MOU from the government. So there are quite a lot, like I already mentioned. Nigeria is leading in terms of blockchain and cryptocurrency adoption, and that's why we're domiciling our solution from here. So basically, we have tokens that are coming on the Cartesi ecosystem. We're also going to, so all our tokens are going to be Cartesi native tokens, and we have also so basically what we're bringing onto Cartesi is a payment solution that will basically be on chain. And then also we're also deploying all the DeFi solution on Cartesi that will also be on chain. For the purpose of the hackathon, we were able to test the payment solution, and then it actually gave us, for precisely the roll-up solutions, it actually gave us what we wanted. And at this point, I would allow Kizito to take up from here so that I don't take too much of time. Thank you very much. Kizito, you can speak.
Okay, sorry. Good afternoon, everybody. Here to shed more light on our technical implementation. So first, I'll start with the crypto payment. That's on the marketplace, right? We intend to integrate the crypto payment. That's making use of the ERC20 roll-up on Cartesi. That's for asset deposit and withdrawal, such that anybody interacting with the marketplace to transact or to trade can easily deposit tokens and make payments for goods being purchased, right? And then these payments will be in form of like an escrow, such that the transaction doesn't, it's not completed till both parties are satisfied of the trade that happened. So that's the first solution we have. And then the next one is in terms of fee management. We intend to use the Cartesi bank, right? So we have like a pool of tokens that the validators can easily pull from. So how we intend to fund the bank will be from like for each trade that is happened on our marketplace, there will be a fee attached to it that goes to the Cartesi bank. That's for the Gunana bank on Cartesi, where the validators can pull their fees and charges from, right? And then also on the marketplace, we intend to make use of the SQLite on Cartesi to kind of store certain data that has to do with the transaction that happened. Let's say, for instance, a trade that happened between two parties. So we try to like save certain data, like the type of item being purchased and the amount that is being purchased for. And then the SQLite would be like a public database, it's centralized, so it cannot be changed. So anybody, at any time, can go back to the database to verify that okay, this transaction actually happened and can easily trace where and when it, right? So aside from the marketplace that we have, the DeFi solution that we intend to bring, that will be for the communities. So we intend to, we already have the decentralized exchange that we've deployed already. It is still on the test net. Yeah. So we have the decentralized exchange that the community can use, and also the farmers or anybody interacting with the marketplace that receives payments in crypto can easily trade for other assets if they so wish to. And then the on-ramp also, that they can convert the crypto back to the fiat currency, to the fiat. Yes. Then aside from the decentralized exchange, we also intend to, though we haven't implemented those yet, for lending and borrowing, right? Like part of the decentralized finance that we intend to implement, so that farmers can easily go to the our platform, so they can borrow funds that they can use to probably fund enhance their farms and better yields. And once they have harvest, they can return back the borrowed assets. So the lending and borrowing is not just for the farmers; it can be for like any member of the community, right? That is of that. Then we also have the savings and staking, right? Where any member of the community can also come to Gunana platform and stake their assets for probably for some returns after a while. So yes, that's the technical overview of what we have as the end. But subsequently, we intend to integrate as we test the community, and as we carry out our research, what will be needed. We intend to implement more features. But for now, this is what we have at the moment. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, team at Gonana. Okay, let's hear it from judges if they have any questions. Johnny, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for the presentation. Seems a very good and promising project also. I wanted to ask you if you have any code or backend code to see how the integration with Cartesi has been done or even designed.
Okay, yes, we
Yes.
have. Go on, Kizito.
Okay, yes, you have backend code right now, even though it on GitHub is a private so I could add just overview, because we don't have the on the system right now, but on GitHub.
Hello. Yeah. Thank you for the presentation. How many percentage of the project have been implemented already, and how many? What's the current status? What's the implemented stage, and what's you are planning to do next?
Okay, so right now, like we said, the payment has been implemented already, and using the roll-ups, and so basically that's what we have done so far. But then, like we've explained, we have a savings future. We have a transaction fee future that we are going to be implementing with Cartesi. We also have a swap and then a staking future. And all these are going to be so because we joined the hackathon pretty late, and that's why we were able to have just the payments, integrated. But then moving forward, we're also coming with all these features on Cartesi, and yeah, that's basically what we will have to be on chain with Cartesi.
Nice. Yeah. So keep working on that and keep going. That's it's good that you have that commitment and dedication. I like that. So yeah, and would love to keep helping and supporting you. Any other questions from judges? Good.
Thank you, Shane.
All right, we can have the next team now. Let's see who is here. Hey there.
Hey there.
Could you introduce yourself quickly?
Yeah. We have a slide for that. But yeah, we have the team got Galois blocks, and we are making this no-code tool for Cartesi rollups and
all right, the stage is yours. You can present your slides. You can share your slides here.
Sure. Share screen. Yeah, is it in full screen right now? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so we are Galois blocks, and we are building Web3 block by block. This will build with Cartesi. So we want to leverage the power of the blockchain OS without coding. And well, what does that entail? Well, for first, let's meet the team. There's Josue Rojas, a developer, and me, Efrain Quintero, also a developer. So Rojas is an applied mathematician, Scrum enthusiast, and experienced with Web3 technologies. I am an ex-Meta software engineer, mathematician, and experienced with AI and Web3 technologies too. So we were inspired by Scratch, this old educational video game engine developed by MIT Media Labs for children, which was aimed to show students the basic building blocks for programming quite literally. So yeah, basically in Scratch you had like this screen where you had this video game character or an image basically that was controlled by well whatever you call it in this with blocks in this other editor screen. So we said why not do that with the blockchain, right? Why not do that? Yeah, have like blocks for smart contracts, blocks for Cartesi rollups now, blocks for like running Python scripts on on a Cartesi rollup, having an NFT collection that obtains media from a Cartesi rollup, perhaps. So yeah, Galois Blocks provides a menu with many types of standard contracts, such as ERC20, ERC721, ERC1166, etc. And these two contracts can be dragged as blocks to the editor screen and get interconnected to our contracts, get parameters assigned, etc. So yeah, we have the screen here with design, and yeah. Finally, after that, the user clicks the compile and deploy button in the top right corner and triggers a call to the Cartesi API. Here you go, yeah, you click the compile and deploy, and the Cartesi rollups called on that with some information. And the idea is that if you have a smart contract, it deploys a smart contract, and if you have a Cartesi rollup, it deploys a Cartesi rollup with that code you implement. So deploying with Galab logs. Here's the workflow we have that I just described is create the smart contract design. Here in the interface, click the compile and deploy button. Then compile this block to a JSON file, which is done on the front ends, and send that to the Cartesi rollup, which we have for deploying this the stuff. So yeah, here we have like this hello C++, hello Python, because it in principle could deploy these Python and C++ scripts. And then we have the deploy the blockchain and Cartesi rollups, which is finally deploy your contract or deploy your Cartesi rollup to the blockchain. And well, we're going to, before we do a little demo, let's have this very little quote by Steve Jobs. Like, technology is nothing. What's important is that you have a faith in people, that they are basically good and smart, and if you give them tools, they'll do wonderful things with them, which is basically what we want to achieve here with this tool, like empower people to do wonderful things with Cartesi and the blockchain. And yeah, that was it for the slides. Now let me stop sharing here and share. Now also share a little piece of the front end. Yeah. So yeah. Here we have first implementation of Gala blocks. We have here a mobile menu, compile and deploy button, and yeah, we have some icons here to which we will in principle be able to deploy. This will represent contracts, and yeah, and just like in Scratch, you could be able to nest them and have them on one inside of each other, meaning that, for example, we have like recursive NFT collections that, yeah, you create NFTs on top of the other NFTs or on top of other NFTs. This could even be a Cartesi rollup for media that gives you the images or other types of parameters that are in these smart contracts. And at the end, you will click here, compile and deploy, and it will be deployed, right? It will ask you to make a transaction and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's it for the front ends. You haven't connected it quite yet to the back ends, but I think my friend here, Josue, will be able to show you a little piece of the backends, like the actual Cartesi implementation. So yeah. I think my colleague is not here. My colleague, you haven't given access to my colleague yet, Josue. He's telling me through messaging. He's Josue Rojas. Don't know if you could help me with that.
Hello. Can we? Is your friend joining? Is he having any trouble
he's
joining
right
in?
here. Oh, Jose, it said you need to use the link.
Are you saying he doesn't have the joining link?
I think so. Let me.
Could it's the same that I shared with you. Could you please
Uh-huh.
share it with him? Yeah.
Yes. He's in there.
Until then, maybe we can bring up our judges if they have any questions. Meanwhile,
Yeah, sure.
we can interact.
Hey there, man. Very interesting project. I it's refreshing to see something fun being built. And one thing that I found interesting, especially as you started popping up blocks inside of one of another, no? Like I was thinking that maybe that can evolve naturally, of course, into some kind of like what you see is what you get editor for people who don't know how to code and you
Yeah.
want to be able to how to say not full blown projects, but their own little things for themselves, but they don't know how to do it by coding.
Right.
Really interesting stuff.
Actually, Scratch had this. Had this feature for you to like share your blocks, like make custom little blocks with your code snippets, and from there do your stuff. So, yeah, that would be a good idea.
Really cool.
Hmm.
Really cool.
Yeah, my friend is here already. Is Jose? We can hear
But we
you.
can hear you on mute probably.
Yeah, are there any other questions? Well,
I can go for something that's high level, very quick.
Mhm.
So if you are walking in the street and someone who have no idea about technology or blockchain or Web3, how do you describe your project in like very simple terms?
Yeah. This code, this tool to uh use use the blockchain smart contracts without coding. Mhm. Yeah, yeah, I think that's like the high level.
Yeah, just one quick question from my side as well. Which part you think specifically fits right for Artec Cartesi in this project?
Sorry, what for the
I
like
mean,
the implementation of Cartesi?
which yeah, I mean, which module, which component of this whole project you think fits best for Cartesi?
Well, yeah. The front end has this block structure that is eventually, well, in the front end is compiled into a JSON, which represents like the same kind of thing you had in there. And that JSON is sent to a Cartesi rollup that converts JSON into .sol files, .py files, and well, all of the necessary files for deployment, and then it actually deploys them. That's the idea. That the idea is to do all that stuff with Cartesi. Mm-hmm.
Hello?
And
Oh, sorry. No problem, no problem.
Yeah.
Go for the demo.
Oh, okay. Sure. Let me present my. Um, one moment. Yeah. So, are you able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so here we have like the backend project. First of all, we want to create blocks, so we created these three small template blocks. Like here we have a very simple ER721 code, and we made some functions to compile it. Here we head to a blockchain RPC, and here we have like the string, the the code stringified, in order to be able to reproduce a new to reproduce another contract with the JSON functions that we mentioned. Like we would be able to create an NFT inside of another NFT, just replacing the string inside another string. Well, here we compile, and in the rollup string, like we would be able to call via front end functions the compiling, the compiling. Like an example, from our front end, we generate this type of strings, and with certain compiling code, we would be able to parse the input and compile. Like right now, I'm in another machine, and this doesn't run smoothly. But here we have like the Docker file. No, the here we have all the instructions in the Docker to execute them in a preset in a preset environment. But yeah, I mean that's the idea. Like from start, we have these blocks, like these are locally, and you interact with the front end console to output the contracts that were compiled here. And also we have interaction Python scripts that also can be accessed via the front end console, like burning tokens, mint tokens in an ERC20. We also have like a DAO template that also this is our first combining test, because here we have like a structure for governance, and also can accept a governance token that can be deployed from another folder that we have. So yeah, that's like the main attributes from our project so far.
Yeah. See, are there any other questions you might have?
Lino, Bahus, Danielle, Imran, any questions for this?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So yeah, thank you so much for your attention and your support. That was.
Thank you so much for presenting.
Thanks
Yeah,
a lot.
All right.
Keep building.
Let's bring up the next project. Yep. Hello there. Can we have a quick introduction, and then you can share your slides?
Yeah, sure. I hope you can see my screen, right?
Not right now. Yes, now it is visible, loading. Yep, now we can see it.
Okay. Hi, guys. I am Rahul from Carfair. So we are building an online marketplace for buying or selling supercars with a focus on fairness and transparency. So basically, we have created an AI tool which can predict the price of a car, estimated price of a car, giving some parameters like the model name and the brand and the year, the manufacturer year, and the wear and tear of the car. So why we are creating Carfair is because the supercar market is they have very unfair pricing practices, with sellers often overvaluating their vehicles to get more profits. So this practice leads to a frustrating buying experience for the customers. who struggle to find a fair price. So we Carfair aim to solve this problem by providing a fair and accurate price prediction tool that benefits both buyers and sellers. So we have created an AI tool and we trained it with some price models, and then we deployed it on the Cartesi blockchain. So I don't have any presentation, but I can show you a video of the demonstration.
Hey there. I think this video, it's now working. Okay, it was on pause until now. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, play it.
Okay, can you hear the audio from the video?
Not really.
Oh,
If you are talking something, maybe you can put the captions on.
yes. Actually, I'm explaining something in the beginning.
You
So
can
I can
keep it playing and yeah, explain it live. That will work.
sure, sure. So yeah. So this is the homepage of the application. So here, whenever the user connects the MetaMask, you can see all the listings of the supercars with the price and the year of model and everything. And let's try to uh, say, I mean, add a listing of an car. So right now I'm uploading an image of a car. And then I'll put in some details like name, description, and manufacturing year. So once I put in this manufacturing and year and model of the car, when we click on the predict market price, it will call an API where no, it will give calculate the estimated price of the particular car with the AI tool what we have, whatever we have created, and with that estimation. The seller can put in some no value either something near to that value or something more than that, so we can get the estimated price of that particular car right now in the market. So once you user clicks on the sell your car now, it will pop up a MetaMask transaction and it will get listed in the application. So yeah, once the transaction is done, once after you refresh the page, you will get the listing here. So now here you can see we got the listing of the new car, the one which we just uploaded. And similarly, users can go to my car section and they can see what are the cars they have listed, and also in the marketplace as well. Once they if they wanted to buy any car, if they click on that buy for 56 ETH or any value buy button, then it will confirm a transaction for the MetaMask transaction. So it will take some time to pop up the transaction. And meanwhile, let's go to the backend. Here, if you see what's happening is Cartesi virtual machine is running, and we are returning the actual data of like the price of the car depending upon the parameters whatever we given uh, in the listing. So it will give the all the payload and the details of the car. So yeah, this was it about the project, and coming to the projections, how we are trying to get customers is by we are trying to open source our price splitter tool and let everyone use it, and then once we get customers over there, and we are will market them saying that you can also buy or sell these supercars in our marketplace itself. So initial way to gain customers is by open sourcing the AI model and to let everyone use it. Yeah, this was it about the project.
Hey, thank you so much for this presentation. Let's bring up the judges. Go ahead, guys. Shoot your questions.
I have one question for you. How was it? Your impression? How was your process? What difficulties or situations that you found while you were developing using Cartesi to make this project?
Yeah, actually, we deployed on Cartesi because it offers many advantages such as fast computation and secure, ensuring efficient and reliable process, right? So, and regarding the problems, what we have faced is while creating the AI bot, while feeding the data to it, we didn't really get the actual useful data to feed it so that we get the accurate or nearly accurate value for the predicting the car prices.
Lino, you want to ask some questions?
So you presented several pieces of your project. Which pieces are inside Cartesi?
Sorry.
So you have a predictor, you have a marketplace, you have several things that you presented. Which pieces are inside Cartesi? What is your plan?
Okay, the price protector tool, what we created, the AI thing is deployed on Cartesi blockchain network.
All right. How do you see the near future of this project? Do you want to build it into some final product or something?
Yeah, as I mentioned, right now there is no marketplace for this supercar. So I wanted to just make a simple website where people can get in, and they can put in the car details and get the estimated price, so that everyone we can reach to a broad number of people, and then we'll market them saying that so we have a marketplace. You can list your car over here so that people from other side of the world can look the listings and buy the products, of course. So that's what our initial step for getting the customers.
All right. Thank you so much for your presentation. If you don't have any further questions, I think we can proceed for the next project.
Hello.
Hey there. Go
Am I
for it. The
audible?
stage is yours. Yes, you are audible. You can present if you have any slides. That would be really nice. Go for it.
Yeah, sure. Hey, hi guys. Myself Shivam Agarwal. I'm currently a pre-final BTech undergrad from India. So my project topic is Bermuda Cartesi, which is some introduction about Bermuda Cartesi. It is a platform as a service platform which gives a seamless flow of the users or the smart contracts owners uh, by showing them the dashboard or the report periodically. So what is the inspiration of my project? So it's basically a web3 domain. I want to build something which will be used by smart contract owners so that they can integrate their smart contracts in that platform or use the APIs to stream the data. So the data is processing is on us and data beautification. Usability is on the user. So in the process of innovation, we can identify the process of analysis in the Web3 domain, which is the key to scale. uh, the what is the approach which I'm doing with the making the web app. So it's basically I'm building a personalized dashboard and continuous integrated reports. The application provides the data fetching or streamlining techniques. Contract owners can provide the contract address and method to index, and a REST API to stream data from that directly. So what's the difference I'm bringing rather than my competitors? So there's a similar data integration and indexing. So making it easier for the data traders to trade the data, automation of data extraction and reporting of continued analysis, providing the edge of our analysis in web through working with decentralized data. So some of the tech stacks which I'm using are Cartesi Infura, Covalent Boost Protocol, Polygon Dune, and so in the backend I'm using the Node.js, and for the platform I'm using the React and Next.js. So some of the challenges which I faced while working on the project, so it's like the data storage, cost effectivity, and encryption were the major issue, and also the building the seamless flow for the users to perform functions, integration with multiple tools, and to maintain the data latency and to provide the users with real-time analysis. So some of the future builds which I'm going to implement in further growth. So that's basically the analysis simply collecting the metadata or utilizing it for the user-based analysis, visual representation for catering better to the requirements, UIX development for more good experience or the developer experience. The system architecture will also be optimized to reduce the pricing model or the revenue model which will be used by the users. So that's the project on demo I'm going to present. Okay. So here you can see the I'm creating the new project. So I'm connecting the wallet. So I am putting the contract address here. So after submitting, I'm getting directed to the dashboard. So that's the dashboard which will be shown by the performance report. So if anyone is wanting to know about some reports of the smart contract or the analysis, they can see from here. So yeah, that's pretty much about my project. Thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to work in my project. So yeah, thanks.
Hey, thank you so much. So this was Bermuda, and yeah,
Bye bye.
Yeah, one quick question that comes to my mind. How much have you implemented with Cartesi? Which part are you doing with Cartesi? And yeah.
Yeah, like the roll-ups part. So I'm from the website. I get into the GitHub documentation of the Cartesi. From there, I implemented a Docker YML file. So yeah, that's a roll-up file. I'm building all the blocks of the website.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Shane.
No. Go ahead. No more questions.
Yeah. So, what's your next step? Like, what's the next step for the project?
Okay, so basically, I want to like already told like I want to build some more features in it, like the revenue model, which is more important. Like some of the smart contract owners are not getting the platform where they can get the smart contracts in there, or also the seeing the data REST APIs in there, so they can get the performance report in basis of their performance. So yeah, that's the main building feature I'm going to build next, and also the UI is designing more features, and also integration with other. Like integration with Cartesi is also there. The other, if I'm getting another software, I can also integrate with it.
Yeah. Have you seen any specific challenges while developing this? Like any specific challenge with Cartesi specifically, or on the other parts?
Like the seamless Docker experience, or Docker is like the new for me. I have to learn some queries on the containers, how to create the containers in it, also. So yeah, that's some of the challenges which I faced while using the Cartesi.
Okay. See. Thank you.
Thanks.
I also want to ask about the dashboard. You talk about the performance of the contract. So, do you previously deploy the contract, and what are the metrics of the performance? How are they calculated? Or which data are you showing in the dashboard?
It's basically like it's a basically like implementation state. So basically, I started with the ideation, then I try to implement with like integrating with the Cartesian rollups, and also building the platform using React or the Node.js. So it's basically in an implementation stage. Then later on, I want to build more building features or integrating with other softwares and all. So yeah, that's.
Yeah, but the metrics you're showing, I mean, you can see some graphics like going up and down.
Yeah.
What are they measuring?
Yeah, it's basically a performance report. The graph is showing the how the contract or the contract owners is doing in according to the performance or the usability of the usability by the users. They are using that product.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions, judges? So back to you, Shane.
Yeah, I think we are done with the lineup of the presenters that we had. And right now, there are other projects as well, but they're not here with us right now. Maybe if you guys are in the listeners, you're somewhere, we have like a couple of minutes. If you want to come on screen, please join with the speaker links that we shared via email. You can present right now. And if there's nobody, meanwhile, we can take a break. Let's have some time for us to judge, evaluate these projects, and we can join back with the audience.
Good. Let's do that. But yeah, as Shaheen mentioned, please join us backstage while we are on the break. If anyone joined, we will take them first before announcing any results. So.
Do we have any other project here? Hello? Okay, I see some of projects here. Guys, if you want to present, now is the time. Come on stage.
I'm gonna share my screen.
Yeah, just quick introduction about you and the project,
Okay.
and you can have the stage for you. Oh, nice. We have a whole team here.
Hello, hello.
Just a minute. Hello, Cartesi team. My name is Enrique.
And I'm Vinicius.
And today we came to introduce Smoking, a system that implements an MVP of a smart lock that allow access to real estate through the purchase of usage token by the user, all run inside the Cartesi machine. First of all, I would like to introduce our team, consisting of myself, Henrique Marlon, Vinicius Lugli, Emanuele Moraes, Eduardo Barreto, and we are all from Brazil. This was our first time developing on your technology, and we are very happy to deliver this prototype. Thinking about our architecture,
Talking about the architecture, we have three parts to be said. The first is the Cartesi machine, that contains the DEP project using the Polygon blockchain in direct communication with the rollup framework, which in turn receives requests from the user page currently managing the permissions for that property. With this data, that is consumed by the microcontroller and using an NFC reader module, can validate and release access to the property. And finally, every type of request made by the page and the controller is using the GraphQL interface.
now I will demonstrate the project. Starting with the front end, here we have a simulation of what would be the purchase of the access token and the recording the owner's wallet as the one that will have access to the property. With this, we reduce the time to rent a property to the block time of the network. Thinking about our hardware system,
And now in the hardware system, you can see my hands here. We have the controller in the project. Can see the device mentioned above performed to the NFC card verification. Following the flow, the microcontroller will check based on the information requested from the rollup. The computer is only for the power supply for the microcontroller. And the microcontroller will check based on the information requested for the rollup, the current owner wallet address of the property. Currently, the registered card is the card A, the card with the green square. So I have access allowed by the system because because they contains the information of the address of the current owner, and that the LED green turn on. Okay. But if I try to use card B, with address is not accepted, it's just ignore the request. Now testing the owner update implementation. If a change request is made, Henrique is changing the current owner. Change the wallet address of the card for the card B. Now the card B has the permission to access the property. In less than 3 seconds, you can see the alteration of the current owner. I will start soon. Now the card B has the access for the current owner. The entire corporate access system and security has made by the controller, requesting for the rollup the current owner of the property. If I try with card B again, card E again, the access are not allowed because the current owner is the card B.
Thanks for your time, and now we are open for questions.
Hey, thank you so much. That was a really nice presentation. Yeah, guys, go ahead.
Yeah, I have one question right away. Where are you managing the ownership? Are you managing this in a smart contract, written in Solidity? Are you managing this inside the Cortez machine?
We have a simple logic on the back end inside of the Cartesi machine. This provides a history system, and I use this to do this.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that piece?
Yes,
So, yeah.
I can show this on the GitHub. Just a minute. Here we have our GitHub on the rollup section.
Marlon, we can't see your screen.
Ah, okay. Here we have a rollup section on our GitHub, and
Yep.
here we have a implementation based on your documentation. So we have a history of the handle advance and the handle inspect, and here we have on the embedded section. We have the GraphQL query.
Zoom it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's okay. So basically, you check for notices produced on the Cortez machine. I see.
Yes, it's an MVP.
I see. Nice.
Those requests are made using GraphQL from to the rollup, from the controller to the rollup.
Nice. I don't have further questions. Do you guys have one? Daniel, maybe? Omar?
Yeah, maybe. So, what's the main use case for this, like in real life? Some examples.
Yes, this is Airbnb made it in Cartesi, and so it's a decentralized Airbnb. Eduardo can say better this.
Yeah, our platform is similar to Airbnb, but it's built on blockchain technology, which provides more security and efficiency. And with our platform, users can book rental properties in a much faster and more secure way than with traditional booking platforms like Airbnb.
Yeah, that's really cool. And one thing that like was highlighted is how are you going to manage the delay between the blockchain and the real time? Like blockchain is not real time, so how do you manage to get this response so fast?
Currently, the controller, all the requests are made to the rollup directly, and we don't have the block time from the blockchain exclusively, and the time is less than 3 seconds.
Okay. Any other follow-up questions?
I'm good.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool
Thank you so
project.
much for the presentation, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see, who do we have next? Who is there? Hello. Do we have somebody? Okay, I think there are some issues in joining for the next. Yeah, I see Eric from the blockchain based on email service would like to go next. Can you come up on stage, Eric, again? Yeah, please turn on your camera so we can see. Okay, Eric is having some issues, I guess. Hey, Eric, do you hear us? Can you turn on your mic? Okay, Eric is trying to use his mobile.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Oh, you went again.
Phone, then I'll. All right.
Hey, Eric. Yes, we can hear you.
Can you see me?
No, I cannot see your face.
All right, I've now entered with my mobile. I'm now in the chat.
Yes, now I can see your face.
You can see my face?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, the stage is yours. You have some slides to present?
Yes, let me log on to my Google Slides.
Yeah, sure. You can try sharing right now. Okay, Eric is facing some bandwidth issues, maybe. Hey, Eric, you're frozen right now. Do you hear us?
Hello?
Yes, you're back now. Okay, you're frozen again. Okay, let's see if we have, maybe we can wait for another team. If we have anybody else in this lineup. Okay, let's see if we can play something for the next team. There's a team called Cartesi Land. If we can have them on stage. Okay, they're also facing some issues, I feel. Okay, then if we don't have anybody else in the lineup, maybe we can we can. Okay, Eric is trying to join again. Hey, Eric, we are facing a lot of issues with your connectivity.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Now,
maybe you just want to explain if there are any presentation issues.
All right. It's a blockchain-based email service. So let me talk about the architecture. Let's get out of here. Okay. I assume the echoing has gone. So let me explain about the architecture. So
Yes, please.
let me begin by explaining why we needed a blockchain-based service. Well, first of all, we cannot trust these big companies with our data. Well, of recent, someone asked Bud. I was interacting with Bud, Google's AI chatbot, and it revealed how some of the data that was used in modeling its AI program came from actual Gmail users. Now that shows that there is an issue of trust when it comes to who is managing our data and our information as regards emails. So this is where my blockchain application comes in. So it is decentralized. One, everything is built on open source, as in line with the ethos of blockchain. So let me begin by explaining from the client to the server. So first, the client side, I decided that, well, you can use any email client you want. However, for this, while I was building it, I decided to use Thunderbird. Thunderbird is an open source email client that is accessible on all major operating systems. It's available on Linux and it's available on Windows as well. So yeah, on the client side, that's what's there. Now, when you have an Android mobile, there's also an email application that can allow you to configure it to interact with any other server. Now, that's on the client side. Now, on the server side, we have a Nginx proxy server. Then we have the James Apache mail server. So I'm going to explain why there's a proxy server there. Now, the thing is this: I wanted the users to continue using the same ports that they are aware of without having to create an entirely new application. So well, as you're aware, SMTP is on port 25, IMAP 143, and POP 110. So I wanted the users to still be able to use the ports that they're familiar with when they're interacting with my email server. So I didn't want to build something new from the ground up. So for that reason, I have a proxy server in between. Well, if at all I just let the client directly interact with the server, well, it would kill. There would be no way for me to include the Cartesi framework in my application. So what happens is this: client sends the message to the Nginx NGINX proxy server. So the proxy server then sends it to the Cartesi front end. Now at the front end, the front end gets the email data and then posts it to the blockchain. Now the back end gets the data and then posts it to the James Apache server. James is a Java Apache Mail Enterprise server. It's an open source Java server. I decided to use Java because, well, I'm more familiar with Java. So let me explain why. So about the data transfers. So from the Nginx, or you forgive me for the pronunciation, the Nginx proxy server, it gets the data, posts it to the blockchain. Then from there, the backend gets it. Now the whole point is we need to trust who is managing our data and how they are managing it. So in this case, since we are using, since it's blockchain based, we can any interaction with the server should be logged onto the blockchain. That's the whole point of having the Cartesi rollups between the Nginx proxy server and the mail server. So from that, a user can verify whatever interactions have happened with their email. Now, about posting data on the blockchain. Now, as I was designing it, I realized that it may not be so practical to just post the data on the blockchain and then the backend picks it, because, well, it could be vulnerable to anyone snooping the email. So I thought we could have a hash of the data, and then post that on the using the Cartesi front end, and then once the back end has picked up that hash and compares it with the data that was received by the Nginx proxy server and its matches, it can now allow the client to interact, the client request to be ferried to the server. So yeah, so okay, now let me talk about the tech stack that I used. Well, there were a lot of things that I had to tinker. Well, on the client side, I simply had to put up the Thunderbird client. I downloaded that. That's all. Then on the server side, setting up the Nginx proxy server. Well, the free version, the one that comes with the apt repository, well, it doesn't have the mail modules with it, so I had to download the binaries myself and pre-configure it. Then now let me talk on the processing between after the message has reached the Nginx proxy server. From there, it goes to a Spring Boot application. So as I told you, my preference is Java. So from there, it goes to this Java application. Is the one that screens the messages, gets the body of the message and does all that processing that I was talking about, posting whatever data to the back end, to the layer one before it's picked up. Now, let me talk a little more about the technology that I used. Well, I used JDK 17 because I was using Maven to run my project, to get the dependencies and all that. So latest version of Maven is 3.6, and 3.9, and also Spring Boot. The Spring Boot version that I'm using, 3.0.6, requires JDK 17. So yes, I have I'm using JDK. I was using JDK 17, Maven 3.0.6. Then what else did I miss? Yes, Spring Boot. Spring Boot is the whole point of handling the service, the requests. So yes, then James Apache server, mail Apache server. Well, I did why did I choose the James server? I did some Googling and I found out that someone, a certain Google developer had managed to use it to develop a mail service for Estonian residents, and more than 1 million were using this server. So as regards scalability, it has been tested, so we are sure that it's production ready. And yes, so it has been tried. So all the tech stacks that I used are tried and tested. Now, unfortunately, I'm having issues with my PC here. I do not know why. I'm using Ubuntu here, but the camera has refused to show up. The camera usually works, but
no worries, man, about
I don't know
that.
why. But
I mean,
yes?
you shared your project on the Taika dashboard as well, right? So we can have access.
Oh.
Did you share any code with us on the dashboard?
Yes, I shared the GitHub link. I'm going to update everything and whatever, and on GitHub, yeah, and make sure and then have a good write up on that. You can follow it up then. Oh, there's something to note. In case you have to test it on the local environment, you will need to create a virtual interface because, well, as I said, you're using a proxy server. So yeah, you'll need to have 2 different addresses for the Nginx proxy server and the Docker file. Well, for the James Apache server, I use Docker, configuring the local binary, the local application that comes with the one that comes with Ubuntu was a little bit difficult. So, well, the good thing with running containerized applications is that, well, things always work. So yeah, I used that. So yeah, just a heads up, in case you get to compile my project, you'll have to create local interface in case you're doing it on the same machine, so as to make sure things work. So yeah, so I've gone over the motivation for this project. Well, let me go over the key points. Biggest motivation for this project, well, we cannot trust these the people who are managing these our email servers. Yeah, just about 2 months ago, if you followed up the news, Bard claimed that some of its AI training data was from Gmail users' data. That's a serious breach of our data privacy. And well, there have been a lot of scandals, 2016 Cambridge Analytica scandal. So yeah, can't really trust these people. So so that brings in my project, the solution. Who is managing your server? It's being managed in a decentralized manner. So any interaction between the email client and the server is always logged on the blockchain. That's the whole point of this. So we can know how your data is being accessed, who is accessing this, or what emails were sent to you, or this and that. Then later on, I will include functionality for that to allow users to decide where they can have their data. Okay, where their data should be stored, because that's a very key point. Whether maybe they should store it on decentralized storage or on Google Drive. Yeah, having users being able to manage exactly where their data is kept is actually a serious point. And also, users will also be able to decide what encryption protocols to use. As you are aware, the biggest threat to blockchain right now is quantum computing. Well, there are a number of quantum encryption algorithms around, notably Falcon, which is already being used by Algorand. I could incorporate that, and users could decide on what kind of encryption schemes is used on their data. So yeah, then that was the motivation. Next, the tech stack. Well, I've talked about what I use.
Hey Eric, quickly, I think do we have any questions? Just asking judges if you have any questions till now.
All right.
Yeah, I do have one. So far you're telling me that, if I understood correctly, right? You have your Apache server for the email inside a Cartesi machine. Is that it?
Yes. Yes.
I have some concerns with that because that means that every. Are you here?
He's froze.
It's unfortunate. Hello?
Hey Eric, your voice is breaking. Okay,
that's so unfortunate, man.
Yeah, we have some connection issues with.
Just for the public, then I was gonna say that I had some concerns with that because that means that all the data for the server that is actually managing and dealing with the content delivery is actually exposed to the blockchain. I know he said something about hashing, but if the email server itself is on the Cortez machine, it means that the Apache server is effectively inside Ethereum. So it's a bit weird. Yeah.
All right, if we don't have Eric right now to answer it, maybe Eric is hearing us on the stream and he can answer these questions specifically on Discord or somewhere for us. And let's see how he takes this project from here.
Hello?
Do we have Eric again?
I was having
hey, Eric is again.
Any questions for me?
No, yeah, I was talking about having the Apache server inside the Cortez. Oh, he broke again.
It's
no worries, man.
Yeah.
I guess we are nearing to our end of this whole session, so it's better to speed things up. And no worries, he can answer us on Discord or maybe somewhere else. So yeah, let's see, who do we have next? Okay, we have Cartesi Lend, the next project. Unfortunately, the team is facing some issues joining this, but we do have some presentation from them. So just a brief intro to the next team. Cartesi Lend, they're basically working, creating an application on the finance side. They have some lending, borrowing mechanism that they want to pull off with Cartesi. And they have done this with all these components, front end with React, Solidity, backend, and some components in Cartesi for the heavy lifting of this. Let's see what do we have in their presentation.
Cartesi Lend is a DeFi lending protocol which allows users to deposit funds and also borrow, organize those funds, and repay them with some interest. It also includes some financial analytics that can use on-chain data represented within Cartesi to compute the collateral risk limits as well. So the reason behind the project is to provide a decentralized lending platform that is more efficient and cost effective, and also we also wanted to leverage the power of Cartesi uh, just by these the users can transact on a roll up with faster and cheaper transactions, while also benefiting from the added security and transparency of blockchain technology. So, but how does this Cartesi work? Is that DApp work by allowing the users to deposit funds into a pool of Cartesi roll-up, which are then used as a collateral to borrow against. The financial analytics component of project helps to manage collateral risk by monitoring the on-chain data related to major cryptocurrencies such as Ethereum and stablecoins. So yeah, this is the website of Cartesi Lend. Uh, the functionality is yet to be built. The UI is only done till now, and we also have some Figma files as well for the Cartesi Lend files uh, files like these. Uh, yeah, coming to the code is pushed to the GitHub repository. You can find the link in the submission, uh, and the in the Cartesian lens, we have this uh, all the code for the all the Python code here, and the front end console is mostly it is from the rollups example that we have provided in the official Cartesi GitHub repository. Yeah, this is about the project.
All right, so that was one last presentation from Cartesi Land. Unfortunately, the team couldn't present this, so there are some connectivity issues with them. But nevertheless, we have seen their project and they have submitted their project, so we'll be evaluating this project as well. And there are other projects that that they are not present here, maybe some reasons. But yeah, we have their projects. All the projects are submitted, and it would be nice to see those projects and evaluate them. So yeah, guys, we need 10-15 minutes to evaluate these projects. All the judges will evaluate them, and then we'll be right back. But we'll leave you with a couple of videos, short videos on our integrators. We have Locus, we have Ethras, and we have Battleship from Productive E. You can watch these videos until we get back with the results. So excited for the results. Let's see who wins this.
So I started thinking, how can we work with machine learning and blockchain? So the first approach was to do a classification of the iris flower dataset using KNN, in which I implemented the classification myself using Python. When that worked out fine, I created this Titanic D app that gets some input data and predicts if you would survive the Titanic accident. For that, I used the traditional tooling to train a model, and then I used a library called Mtcgen to convert this model to pure Python code. That worked out great. So next, I started using OpenCV, exploring it to process biometrics data from fingerprints, and later used the extracted features to feed a classifier trained to identify spoofed fingerprints. I think it's important to bring machine learning to blockchain. Biometrics is the information we can use to identify ourselves, like fingerprints. In Brazil, for instance, it's common to have fingerprint controls for starting and ending work, especially in public institutions. Whenever a public servant arrives there, they put their fingerprint to say, "Hey, I'm starting to work." And then when they go home, they do the same. But there's a lot of fraud with that. There's literally a round-robin scheme in which, let's say, 7 people say, "I'm going to work today." Then tomorrow you go to work. Then the day after tomorrow, you go to work. And we all have a keychain with silicon fingerprints of everyone so that we can fake it. You seem to be at work when you're home doing nothing. But we train a model to recognize fake silicon prints against the real fingerprint on the blockchain. It's pretty high-level stuff. You need to do a really large number of real thumb readings and then another real large amount of fake ones to train the model. In the end, the machine learning algorithm is trained and can finally say, these are real prints, these are fake ones. I use OpenCV, which is a very well-known open source project with a lot of use cases. It's basically running inside every cell phone and every camera. OpenCV is a C library that I ported to the Cartesi machine. The challenging part was that I needed to cross-compile it to a different platform. It was somewhat hard, but it was not impossible, and I had a lot of support from the Cartesi team. Setting up the environment and getting the parameters right to do this is tricky, and the most awesome thing in the whole process was when I started to use the Docker toolchain image provided by Cartesi. Everything I needed to cross-compile was in there, and everything started to work. For the biometrics application, we have this program that uses OpenCV and extracts the features of the fingerprints, and that program is in C++. The features are later fed into a Python program that decides whether it's a spoof fingerprint or a real one. So for the Titanic D app, we trained a model using traditional machine learning frameworks. The model predicts who would live and who would die on the Titanic. You need to give age, gender, and so on. And then the model gets all this data and tries to predict if this person survived or not. To train the model, we used a traditional machine learning Python framework called scikit-learn, which has a lot of dependencies including SciPy, NumPy, and Pandas. We converted the machine learning model to pure Python code using a library called Mtcgen, and we ran that converted model inside of the Cartesi machine. This framework is extensively used in the machine learning community. Cross-compiling is really hard. Let's say you have a program being built on your machine. It knows the instructions and can check that it supports all the stuff. Now with cross-compiling, you have to run that program somewhere else, in a different architecture, and it's often really challenging figuring out the correct parameters to build the program appropriately. So I've used this Cartesi toolchain Docker image, which already has all the tooling tuned for this other environment. All the things I should figure out are already correctly configured on this Docker image. Then it was a matter of, okay, so let me take the code inside the container, and it just compiled with all the parameters correctly set to run inside of the Cartesi machine. I want to tackle the game segment, I really do. I want to try some things that we have in Web 2 and bring those to Web 3. For this decentralized game, I'd use the Unity game engine and try to integrate that into the blockchain using the blockchain OS. In Unity, there are some languages that can be used to express the game logic. I'd go for C# because I have more knowledge in it. I don't think C# has been tested yet on the blockchain OS, so it would be a nice and challenging thing to push the boundaries again. For us, the biggest draw with Cartesi is the fact we're using a full-on virtual machine. We think that's exactly why the blockchain OS was built, so that pretty much everybody can program in any language and get started. We just think developers are passionate about their chosen languages. Being an engineer, it's very rare that you get to pick your own language. I know a lot of people that basically pick their jobs based on what language they get to write. Our team is all Rust, and it's fantastic that we can write in that. Rust is a very blockchain-friendly language at the moment. A lot of the key blockchain crypto primitives are available in Rust. If they're not in Rust, you can easily bind them from C. If you're in blockchain, employing that language seems like a no-brainer. We know blockchain's inner workings, so it was pretty straightforward to onboard on the blockchain OS. The HTTP interface helped to work with the VM. Cartesi provided solid documentation and bi-weekly assistance. We think the beat is that we didn't have to do anything really special. We programmed in Rust, relocated it, and altered how we received and returned it. Inputs and outputs are handled, and that's pretty much it. On Solidity, you're basically bound to a limited chunk of computation, and also about how you can express yourself. You don't have higher level things like files, simple things that you're used to, like string manipulation methods. The blockchain OS has the bonus of not just writing in the language that you choose, but also to install whatever you choose in the virtual machine. That's actually quite surprising, and probably not something that most people in the smart contract space are even remotely used to. Right now, the game we're developing is like an RPG mixed with puzzle battle. So you have your party of 3 NFTs battling another party. We'd love to take this further in the future and add in a story mode to make it even more immersive. So it's like Candy Crush meets Dungeons and Dragons or Pokemon. The core gameplay is like Candy Crush, but you need to collect characters. Our decentralized application is like a match, a head-to-head combat game where each player will have to acquire entities to participate in matches. Blockchain use for game fairness will be vital since esports is growing, and the more money involved, the more necessary it is to be fair. Cartesi rollups allow us to organize secure tournaments with correct and fair payouts and run events using the smart contract that we built inside the VM. Now, when you have games using NFT, the interpretation of what the NFT represents is centralized, right? So from day to night, the game developer can just publish a new version and transform your almighty NFT into some junk item. But in our case, on the OS, the NFT is interpreted in code that's on decentralized logic. So it has a much higher level of transparency, and you have a better assurance that whatever you have works and stays the way it is. Scarcity and economics drive many crypto-based games. We're old school, but we recall when games like Diablo 2 featured a limitless number of items that could possibly be created by its procedural logic. Value is developed naturally, not artificially based on scarcity or dice mechanics. Most crypto games nowadays come to a point that when they cash out, no one is interested in playing anymore. People that got in early are either rich and bored, or they can't achieve that level of gaming. But die-hard Diablo 2 fans still go after the incredibly uncommon item because it has inherent worth, even if it's 20 years old. Yeah, our road to blockchain was new to me, but it was pretty easy. There was a lot of documentation provided by Cartesi. I learned most of my knowledge on blockchain through the development of the apps. The team is constantly improving the documentation. We had bi-weekly meetings with the tech team, and they also showed a lot of new ideas. It was a really, really interesting experience. You know the classic Battleship game, right? So basically on Battleship, secrecy is very important because if you figure out the other player's boards, you just win. With an online version of Battleship, you have to trust that the server that's processing the game isn't doing anything nasty to you, that it's not showing one of your positions or anything like that. In general, there's a lot of cheating going on in Battleship games. Now, if you have a decentralized version like ours, it sounds like a contradiction in terms. For the two players to talk to each other and send the positions, we have to be open on the blockchain, yet you have to make sure that things are hidden, otherwise the game is over in no time. As a solution, we've used this protocol in which we encrypt the board configuration and send it when the game begins, so that no one can see the board, but also cannot lie about what was the initial setup of the ship's positions. During the game, there's trust. But if there's a dispute, when player A has the impression the other is cheating, player B has to reveal what his actual board was, and then the blockchain will show who was right. Actually, what I like about the blockchain OS is that I don't have to deal with the blockchain that much. I'm using familiar kinds of programming languages such as C++, Python, JavaScript. And the Cartesi machine hides all these complexities of the blockchain, and that makes development much easier. Therefore, I've no real experience with Solidity. I just took a basic course to get familiar with it, and it's very limited. So the blockchain OS is providing me with the full Linux operating system, with the framework and languages and platforms that can run on it. So I'm feeling free to use them, and I don't feel the limitations of Solidity. To create a decentralized Battleship game is something that would be really hard to do if you had a smaller amount of processing power. Because you have to decrypt a whole board, then you have to go through all the moves. You have to reproduce all the game validates from start to end. That simply doesn't fit a single transaction, so you would have to orchestrate performing multiple transactions to perform this processing in chunks that fit into a blockchain transaction, making sure each transaction is correctly processed before proceeding to the next chunk. With the blockchain OS, this is possible because of its enormous processing power, and you can issue processing the whole game at once. All these great ships and custom assets can be turned into NFTs, of course. The NFT itself is generally decentralized because it's an asset on chain. But here's something I learned. What the NFT represents isn't generally decentralized. The game platform can turn a very powerful NFT into a terrible NFT by just flipping their meaning on the server without anyone agreeing in the community. A lot of times, players are frustrated because one of their favorite characters or items or something is nerfed, and they don't have a say in it. When there's no alternative, you can't keep playing the game the way it is. With blockchain games, you can stick with the version that you're playing, even if you don't agree with changes that a developer has made. Or you just create your own version. Balancing a game is something very important and challenging, and is generally done in a centralized fashion. For example, if I get matched with someone that has this super ship that I don't have, I'm probably going to lose because I'm overpowered. Traditionally, the developer will balance that for the game. But with blockchain and a decentralized governance, you can have players voting for balancing using a DAO. So players can decide to collectively increase the powers of a specific ship or collectively make it weaker. That way, the gamer community is driving the balance for the game. And that's very different from a centralized game in which you as the developer must be the warden of the game and make it balanced, and increase the power or something or decrease and see that the game reaches some equilibrium. You now have the community to do that for you.
All right, we are back. It was a very exciting day, and wow, like 216 participants, 28 project submissions, and we are coming to this winners announcement, and that's good news for everyone. But I was very excited today because we had some good inspiration, some good projects, and we are really inspired by all the demonstrations that you did, the presentations that you did as well, and we are looking forward to see this creativity taking forward. And we are actually, this is not the end of that journey. Like this is only the beginning. This is only the beginning for you to take these ideas and take it to the next level. So yeah, this is concluding the first global online hackathon for Cartesi. I'd like to express my deepest gratitude for everyone who participated in this hackathon. And to me, I believe everyone is a winner. It's not only those who are getting the prizes, but it's everyone who participated. I believe that everyone learned something new. And it's been an honor and a really enjoyable journey to be with you throughout this journey. So yeah, before we announce the winners and the runner-ups, like we have like a queue of winners here today to announce, I'd like to take a few moments to present or to tell you about the Cartesi Grants Program, the Community Grants Program, right? So the Community Grants Program, it's basically a program to take projects from ideas till being a fully fledged like real world project, like startup. You can take it to be a real business. So Cartesi announced it a few weeks ago, a community grants program. This community grants program, you can access it right now on governance.cartesi.io. Like we are accepting like proposals right now. So if you have an idea that you would like to take forward, if you are one of the winners, or even if you didn't win today, you can apply and put your proposal publicly to the community. And it's going to be going through the community voting. Everyone within the Cartesi ecosystem can vote, and everyone who have staked tokens, that they can vote and say, yeah, I see this idea is good for the community, for the like Cartesi ecosystem, so you can take it forward. We provide like fund for these projects. We provide support, we provide technical guidance, we provide direct access to our core contributors, and we are open for any kind of projects that would be helpful for the Cartesi ecosystem, right? So please go ahead. If you are willing to take your idea to the next level, we would love to work with you. We would love to see your grant proposal. It's not capped with a specific amount of funds. It's the baseline is you should have a clear milestones. You should have a clear kind of architecture where you are going to use Cartesi technology, where what's the challenge you are trying to solve, and where would you like to see the impact of this project, right? So governance.cartesi.io. Proposals are open right now. Feel free to submit your idea. If it's one of the hackathon projects, or even if it's not, if you have something in mind, don't be shy. Go ahead and submit that idea. So yeah, like now it's time for the good news. Let's see. Do we have the presentations ready here? Okay, let's bring the slides up. So congratulations for the runner-ups. I'm happy to announce that these three projects have been with runner-ups in this first online hackathon of Cartesi. ChronoSnap, congratulations for all the hard work that you did for your presentation and for your work. Simple Soccer, Godot Toolchain. So you did amazing, and we are happy for you that you are sharing this prize pool. And this is, I believe, it's not the end of the line. You are going to be taking this to the next level, and we are here to help and support you. So congratulations, guys. Happy for you. And yeah, let's see who is the third winner with us today. And the third winner for 2000 USD is Moken. So yeah, congratulations, guys. It's interesting project. I'm really looking forward to see you and see what you are going to bring to the blockchain industry as a whole, and how you are going to take this project to the next level. So yeah, that's a very good project. So what's on the second place? Drums playing. Yeah, and we have for the second place Galois Blocks, if I pronounce it correctly. So yeah, 3,000 USD team prize for the second place. Happy for you, and very optimistic about what you are going to achieve next. Now, drums playing on a higher pace. We have the first winner for our hackathon for 5,000 USD team prize, Immunify Health. So that was my favorite project, and the whole judging team agreed that this is one of the projects that deserve the first place for this hackathon. And yeah, congratulations for every one of you, everyone who participated today, everyone who submitted projects, everyone who didn't have enough time or enough team to submit new projects. Congratulations. This is only the first step. This is only the first step for many successes to come. Before we say keep moving forward, I'd like to give a special thank you, of course, for everyone who participated, and also for many people who have been working hard behind scenes. I'd like to start thanking the marketing team, like Claudio have been like the hero behind this backstage, the whole thing. Claudio, Tencia, and Carmen, and Shiny for all the preparing the presentations, being up to speed with the communication with everyone. They were doing great job behind scenes. They didn't appear on stage, but they are really the heroes behind it. And also for all the judges, Lino, Gabriel, Baho, Daniel, and our community hero, Shaheen, for communicating with the teams and keeping everything energetic. And yeah, I really enjoyed that journey, and from good to better and to excellent next time. I really enjoyed this journey, and yeah, I would like to invite everyone here on stage. If you have any other words to say, anything that you would like to share with the community before we call it a day. So yeah, please, Shaheen, Bahos, Daniel.
Yeah, sure. I mean, just want to say it was an amazing learning experience. I'm sure it was for all the hackers. They built something. They faced a lot of challenges, and finally we now have all the winners. But even for us, it was a great learning experience. We got a lot of feedback during this journey, and we hope we're gonna get more feedback, and we're gonna build our product, the whole developer experience better with this the whole hackathon. So yeah, the near future is very exciting, and I hope everybody stays in touch with us for upcoming challenges and events as well. So super excited and amazing thing coming ahead.
Yep, agreed. Baho, Daniel, Lino, would like to say something?
Yeah, no, just a quick thank you, guys. Thank you for participating. Just wanted to mention yet again, we are on Discord. We are very open. If you have questions, if you want to view the project, if you just want to know something, just ask us over there. We are very reachable. Thank you again for participating at the hackathon.
Yeah, same as Gabriel, as my team. Thank you so much for trying and building these projects. Hoping that you reinvest all the prize pool and everything into the project, and you build something really, really big. Because the more you grow, the more Cartesi grows, and we can build together something really cool.
Yeah, congratulations to all you guys, and just keep engaged, and we'll be able to help in any questions and doubts to have any of the projects going further. So we always available for you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Shaheen. Thanks, Bahuz, Daniel, Lino, and special thanks for everyone who presented today again, and for everyone who didn't get a chance to present. Everyone who didn't win today, that doesn't mean you didn't do well. It's not the case. Everyone who didn't win today means that you have a chance to take this idea to the next level and maybe look into how can I improve this idea, how can I improve the implementation, how can I ask for help and support. Like, we are available on Discord 24/7 almost, like, because we are as a team in different locations in the world. Like, you will find us in Latin America, in Europe, in Middle East, in Asia. So you will find people covering different time zones. So if you have any questions, please come ahead and join us on Discord. Ask any questions. Ask how can I improve my project? How can I take it to the next level? And regardless if you get a winning package today or not, you are welcome to submit your proposal to the Grants Council, right? So, and it's not limited for a specific amount. So take this as an opportunity and apply for the grants program. Would love to see your proposals coming. And one more thing that I'd like to highlight is we are participating in many hackathons in the upcoming period. So first thing is we are going to Boston in May, first 2 weeks in May. So between May 8th, I believe, until May 12th, you will find Bahuz and Zach, for example, in Boston, participating in COD Summit and in other Python community activities and meeting blockchain communities. At the same time, you will find Carlo and Lino, Carlo and his team, Daniel as well, and other core contributors are going to Lisbon in Europe. So Portugal in Lisbon, where we are going to be at the ETH Global Lisbon. So that's another opportunity. If you are around Europe, take a flight or maybe a train, come meet us, and we will be happy to have a discussion with you. Apart from that, we are participating in multiple other ETH Global hackathons. We are having our own Cartesi track. So ETH Global Istanbul in Turkey, coming in Q4. ETH Global New York, we are coming to New York as well in September, I believe. And Paris in July, that's also another opportunity. And in between these, we are going to be holding some online hackathons. So that's not the last one, that's just the beginning. That's the first hackathon, online hackathon we hold, but that's not the last one. One last thing I'd like to mention, if you have a community and you would like us to support your community, present at your community, like send some of our speakers, or maybe support a pizza party, maybe, or have a hackathon, like student club hackathon, mini hackathon for your university or for your student club. We are open for that. Please reach out to us, any of us, like on Discord, on Twitter, whatever. We would love to hear from you. We would love to send speakers and swag, support you, whatever it takes, and help you grow your community. If you don't have a community and you would like to create one, we'd love to hear from you and to support you create that community. So yeah, that's it from my side. It's been a pleasure. It's been a really exciting journey. Please keep pushing it forward, keep moving forward. Stay healthy, stay safe, and catch up the next time. Have a good one.
Bye-bye, guys. Bye, everyone.